weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I'm going to be reviewing City Boy #1, the third and last of the We Are Legends books. City Boy #1, written by Greg Pak, art by Minkyu Young. As far as the We Are Legend books go, I like Spirit World and the Vigil way more than I thought I would, so while I didn't have high hopes for City Boy, I figured we are already in bonus time, so what the hell. But seriously, City Boy has to be one of the worst names for a hero in a book I've ever heard, and I wonder if he'll change his name to City Man once he gets a little bit older, a little more mature, as they say. I guess we'll have to wait and see if that happens, but I don't know which is worse, City Boy or City Man. But we're not here for that. We're here to see if this first issue is any good. And surprise, surprise, it's not half bad. So let's get into this right after I ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, like the video, enable the notifications, and let me know what you thought of City Boy #1 in the comments below. Greg Pak takes the manga route with this first issue. Now, I'm not saying it's better than manga or worse, and please don't yell at me in the comments about that. But what he does is focus on character and setting a little more than story in this first issue. But he does end it with a crazy cliffhanger that'll make most readers show up for the second issue just to see what the heck is actually going on in this book. Now, we get the origin of City Boy, whose name is Cameron, a kid abandoned by his mother, the reason for which I hope we find out more about going forward, to when he then stumbles, unluckily, upon the experiment that actually turns him into City Boy. This is intermixed with the present-day trials and tribulations of Cameron using his City Boy powers to eke out a life on the streets, and even helping an older gentleman, Fujimoto, survive as well. And I think this is a big play here. I think that Greg Pak wants to make you realize that, yeah, Cameron might be able to use this power in sus ways. He might be able to actually, make a really good killing with it. But instead, he is, pretty content to use it in a non-sus way. But because of that, he's barely eking out a living on the streets, as I said. Now, this does make you see that Cameron has his heart in the right place. But of course, that's not going to be enough, right? Enter Boss Chung, the piece of crap who pretty much runs the neighborhood, gets a cut of everything, and who figures out that City Boy just might be his ticket to even more. Now, I wish that we got a little bit more of an explanation of City Boy's power set, but we do get to see that getting these powers has pretty much set up Cameron to be used and abused by just about everyone. And by the end of the issue, a very unlikely character wants to get in on that as well. And seriously, I don't think many people would have guessed the character that will show up by the end of this issue, and it immediately elevates this book, in my mind, way past what I thought it would have been. So, by the end of the issue, I am interested in seeing where the story goes, and I do care a bit for City Boy. The art is good, not great. I usually like Minkyu Young's art, but this is pretty basic here. There aren't any real standout panels, but there was nothing that pulled me out of the issue either, and I don't mind that for a #1 issue. It more concentrates on Cameron himself. There's pretty much, basic building blocks of what's going on here, but because of all that, it actually felt more like a prelude than a proper #1 issue. I didn't mind it, but it didn't feel like, we're actually starting up a series just yet. Hopefully, Pak gives us more story next issue and relies on the character work in this one to continue connecting his main character with the reader. While this is my least favorite of the We Are Legends books so far after each of the #1s, it's still a solid read that I suggest to anyone looking for a new character with a quirky power set. So I am giving it a 7 out of 10 and would love to hear what everyone else thought of it in the comments below. And this might have been one of the quickest reviews that I've done. And it's because it's a very quick issue. It does set up the building blocks. I appreciate that. But I'm going to have to wait at least till next issue to say, oh my God, this really is great. I actually thought that after reading Spirit World, and especially The Vigil, which has been my favorite one of these so far. So let me know what you think of this and all the We Are Legends books so far in the comments below. Thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.